putter. It is the hottest putter, and it always stays with her. It doesn't have a biorhythm. It's just like this. It's just always good.
She was worried that she'd be rusty entering this week. Turns out, I don't know if Inbee Park knows what rust is, because we've seen some good play from her across a couple of days so far. Let's show you what's already happened this morning. This at the very first hole, Judy, and Inbee made a move.
Yeah, not a real difficult starting hole. And even though she wasn't close to the hole, she makes 3.
Yeah, so 1 under through 1, opened up a 1-stroke lead at 12 under. Jin Young Ko in trouble at the second.
Some kind of funky, choppy rough around the greens, and you can get a lie that's very difficult.
Would try to get up and down, would fail, so she'd bogey to drop to 10 under and be 2 back. Let's move ahead to the third hole, where Inbee had another birdie look.
Well, that is her length right there. I mean, right in the heart.
So all of a sudden, a 3-stroke lead opened up through 3 holes. Inbee jumps up to 13 under par. However, we'll move ahead to 4, and this a birdie chance for Jin Young to bounce back.
She may not putt as well as Inbee does every single day, but many days she does.
So she climbs back to 11 under, where she started the day, and on the very same hole, this for Inbee to save par, having gone along with her approach.
She did make a couple of really good par saves yesterday.
So that drops Inbee back to 12 under, just a 1-stroke lead. Story coming into today, Brittany Lincicome began 3 back, 1 under through 5 on her day today. That her first birdie, but she will be playing an eagle, excuse me. She will be playing with a heavy heart today, as Brittany took to Instagram last night to announce that her 91-year-old grandmother, Dottie Campbell, passed away at 5:30 yesterday evening. We'll get back to that in a minute, but the biggest move perhaps so far coming from Celine Boutier. She is 5 under through 8, which gets her into a tie for a second. And moments ago, this from American J. Marine Green at the 9th.
Really glad to see her catch some fire. She is so much better player than her resume would say.
She's 6 under now, Judy, through 9 holes to climb up, as we mentioned, into that tie for second. Crazy that we haven't seen J. Marie, you would think, given her talent, what you alluded to, win yet on the LPGA Tour. This could be that moment. So Inbee Park has opened up a 1-stroke lead, but you take a look at some of the scores we're seeing out there early, Judy. Arguably, this is anyone's. We've got major champions, we've got wannabe first-time winners, everybody contending here at the ShopRite.
Yeah, I think maybe we're getting better scoring today than any day. Conditions once again are beautiful. At least for the moment, there is next to no wind, and it's warm temperatures. So the ball's going to fly a little bit farther maybe than it did early in the morning on Friday and Saturday. And the scores just seem to me to be going really low.
Worth noting as well, they are playing in threesomes off of split tees, so hence why we've already seen some play, but we are looking forward to watching it all conclude right here on our air. George will be back with you at the top of the hour. It is the final round of the ShopRite LPGA Classic on the Bay Course in New Jersey. Playing in threesomes off split tees, and there was some movement early. This was a much-needed birdie for Jin Young Ko at the 6th hole. She would bogey the 2nd, birdie the 4th to bounce back. That one at 6, and then this, a moment ago, 3 hybrid in hand on the tee at the par 3 7th, the only par 3 on the front 9 of this Bay Course layout, and this was a beauty. Setting up another birdie, and she would open up a 1-stroke lead. Ko and Park made identical progress through the first 2 days, but they are being chased by many. Looking forward to our coverage on Sunday. NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Galloway, New Jersey, it's final round coverage of the ShopRite LPGA Classic, presented by Acer. Overlooking Atlantic City, the Bay Course was host of the 1942 PGA Championship, when Sam Snead won the first of his 7 majors. Well, today, that same course provides the stage for the 33rd edition of the ShopRite LPGA Classic. And we are set for a Sunday showdown at Seaview between the second and third ranked players in the world and many more making a move in front of a live gallery. Wonderful to have the fans back this week as the world's best play for that crystal trophy. Cara Banks proud to be alongside World Golf Hall of Famer Judy Rankin. And Judy, we've seen a lot of movement early today. This was Inbee at the third.
Yeah, she didn't lose that classy stroke overnight.
The birdie got her to 13 under, opening up a 3-stroke lead at the time. We'll move ahead to the fourth hole, playing alongside Jin Young Ko. This for birdie to get to 11 under.
Her speed is always just beautiful.
And it was much needed after a bogey at the second. Then this kind of shocking development really for Inbee Park. She went long at the fourth, this to save par, which you can see slides by. So she would drop back to 12 under, 1-stroke lead at the time. Meanwhile, making a move at the eighth, Céline Boutier from France.
A player with 1 win on the LPGA Tour, but she has made some noise the last couple of years for sure.
That birdie got her to 11 under. She'd also birdie 9 to get to 12 under, which is where Jin Young Ko would end up after this birdie at the 6th.
One of the hardest par 4s on the golf course.
And as you saw a moment ago, she would go back to back. This with that 3 hybrid in hand on the tee at the par 3 7th, almost perfect.
And plenty of length here. 186 yards right to the hole.
Yeah, good shot.
Good shot indeed. She would convert the birdie to get to 13 under par, opening up a 1-stroke lead, but other major champions are moving. Brooke Henderson here at 10. Nice birdie to get her to 12 under par. So all of a sudden, Brooke Henderson is one back as we bring you today's opening leaderboard, brought to you by On Her Turf. For stories on your favorite female athletes, follow On Her Turf on Instagram and Twitter. Worth noting that 73 total players made the 36-hole cut at 1 under par. And as you can see, we have some very low scores out there already today. Both Henderson and Boutier 6 under through their first 10 holes. Maria Fassi, J. Marie Green 5 under through 11. Paula Rito 5 under as well. She already deep into the back 9 of this, her final round. It's been a good week so far for Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff. She's 2 under through 8, looking to make a bit more of a move as she makes the turn here. And Stacey Lewis, one of several multiple champions in the field. Well, proud to be part of a female broadcast crew this week. Cara Banks alongside World Golf Hall of Famer Judy Rankin, Paige McKenzie, our hole announcer, Karen Stupples and Kay Cockrell out on the golf course. So let's get you straight out there and to the tee at 11.
Yeah, one of the par 3s on this golf course. And Brooke Henderson.
And one of the tougher holes on the course. That's the 6-iron for Brooke, trying to hit the front yardage number. I was hoping that would scoot up more than it did.
She'll have a little bit of work left to do as we head back to 8.
And this is Jin Young Ko. Karen Stupples is with this group. Karen, it's been quite an eventful morning already.
Oh my goodness, I mean, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. First, Inbee parked at the lead, then Jin Young Ko has come storming back. Paddy Tavatanakit just kind of lurking around there, and I mean, it's really setting up for a very interesting day. Watching the, the ebb and flow of what these two players, these two giants of Korean golf are doing is quite impressive. Jin Young has an opportunity to get a birdie here, but Inbee Park is in closer. These greens are treacherous and tricky, though. Oh, not happy straight away.
Well, she'll convert the par to stay at 13 under. We'll come back to Inbee, but right now let's get back to 11.
And Céline Boutier.
Céline going with 1 club less, 7-iron. Also just trying to hit the front yardage. This drawing a bit.
It's going to feed off to the left. This green slopes pretty severely from right to left, specifically on that side of the green.
Well, we said we'd come back to Inbee, Karen, and this is her look at the 8th.
Well, I mean, she's been making putts with regularity for most of the week, but she has missed a couple today. She's a competitor.
Yeah, that's more like it. So Imby would jump back up to 13 under. And back where she started the day in a share of the lead, but already a couple of under on the day, as you can see that lone bogey coming at the 4th. Up to 12, Judy, and this is quite a story developing. This is Maria Fassi for a 4th straight birdie.
You know, ever since the team tournament, when she paired with Stacey Lewis, she has done better and better and better. And she might just attribute some of this newfound success to Stacey Lewis and watching her play and having Stacey get in her ear on the golf course.
Bounce back from a bogey at 2 with that eagle at 3 as we go back to 11.
And Celine Boutier now with her birdie look, Kay.
A lot of great momentum in this group created between Celine and Brooke. 12 birdies between the two of them. If they were playing best ball, Paige, they'd be 8 under par.
Phew, I'll say. You know, sometimes you can feed that momentum.
This is an uphill birdie putt that will move a little right to left. Just has to make sure she hits it enough. So slow uphill.
Yeah, good call.
But amazing to hear too, Kay. You said she hit one less club than Brooke?
I know. I thought that was interesting, but you know, players have a game plan. Maybe she just wanted to go after that one a little bit harder. She's certainly not a power player. But Brooke also does not hit her irons long compared to how long she hits her driver.
She's got a little bit of fringe to deal with.
This is a more difficult putt. It's uphill initially, and then it'll flatten out and almost start going downhill, and she has right to left break to deal with. She'd do well to get this in a 3-foot circle.
Just a little short for her as well. We have a minute. We'll head back up to Cara and Judy on the tower.
Paige, thank you. What a morning this has been already, Judy. Kind of can't believe some of the low scores we're seeing. You alluded to it a moment ago, arguably the lowest scoring that we have seen so far this week.
Yeah, well, you called it a showdown. We might even call it a shootout. This is fun for you at home, and it's fun for us to watch, for sure. And the players who are in the thick of it, I don't know if they'd call it fun at this moment, but it is what they work for.
You know, 54-hole events, you have to be a little bit more aggressive. You have to come out firing today, don't you?
Yeah, and you knew it. You knew it when you teed off. It could not be a nicer day. Conditions are perfect. It's a little bit warmer, if anything, maybe makes the ball fly that little bit farther. And a lot of people are taking advantage of it. We have some of the best in the game really playing well, and then we have some who we think could be some of the best in the game, but haven't been, that are making a mark today.
You mentioned the conditions. We've been blessed with wonderful weather all week. It's been really a beautiful early fall, warm weathers, and this leaderboard, as you say, is stacking up. If you had to pick someone right now, who do you think is the favorite out of this group, if there is one?
Boy, that's
question.
A hard question. You know, I want to see 3 or 4 of these players take it down to the last few holes, and then could I tell you what I think?
Okay. You can hold that thought as we go out to 9.
And in B Park, just with her fairway finder out.
Well, and taking advantage of that down grain right side to get a little bit extra roll on it too, Paige.
Pretty fun to be able to watch both of these players playing with each other. 2 very good closers. Typically, when they're in the lead, you got to watch out. They can close it out. Now they're both battling with each other, Karen.
It is, and that's an interesting concept that you brought up there. I mean, obviously, when you look through Imby Park's career, a lot of her closing happened a number of years ago. Jin Young Ko's closing has happened very, very recently. It's they both have a little bit of different style to their game. This one's going to be higher. It's going to be deeper down the fairway. Jin Young very good at hitting fairways and hitting greens, and Imby, the putter in chief.
Boy, hot on the ground, Karen.
She flew Imby's.
She calls that driver her favorite club.
There's a lot of her clubs that would be my favorite, and you can see Boutier back at 6 under, 12 under, with Brooke Henderson and Celine Boutier chasing down the world's number 2 and 3 at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. up at the 9th hole, par 5. Brittany Lincicome with her 3rd shot. All these par 5s, very reachable for the longest hitters.
Well, Brittany's 1 under on her day. She did begin 3 off of the lead, but sadly she will be playing with a heavy heart today. She took to Instagram last night to announce that her 91-year-old grandmother, Dottie Campbell, passed away at 5:30 yesterday evening. She was her mother Angie's mum, affectionately known as MC for Mama Campbell, and had been in hospice care recently over in West Virginia. But as you can read, Brittany decided to stay and finish the tournament like her grandmother would have wanted. Admitting it won't be easy today, but perhaps she'll be looking down to help her make a few more birdies. As Brittany not only tries to win for her grandmother, but for the first time since becoming a mother as well. And she does have her daughter Emery on site with her here this week, as well as her parents, Tom and Angie. So she bounced back from a bogey at the 2nd with a nice eagle at the 3rd, and another bogey and birdie since then, but an opportunity perhaps here at 9. And this is our first aerial look at our layout this week. It's a golf course that hugs Reed's Bay, and you really get beautiful views of Atlantic City across the other side of that bay. Seaview being a wonderful host to us all week long as we rejoin Brittany at 9.
Not much left remaining for her birdie. That's a good way to finish this opening 9. As they walk off the green, Inbee Park preparing to hit from the fairway.
Well, she's got 224 to the front, 236 to the hole. I think this one is going to take every ounce of quality strike and release to get this one onto the green, but I think she'll take just short of it.
You know, we know that Inbee watched Sayri Pak when she was a child, and that's how she got really interested in golf. And I'm not so sure that Jin Young Ko wouldn't have been watching Inbee Park, certainly in her teenage years, to become so interested and so good at the game.
Well, she had a really close-up look at Inbee Park back in 2015 at the AIG Women's Open at Turnberry, when Jin Young Ko was the other Ko, as we knew her then, and Inbee Park ended up winning. But Jin Young Ko was there for a long time, hanging in there tough. From here, she has 190 to the front, 202 to the flag. It's that 3 hybrid again that she hit so well, back on the 7th.
And that's in some thicker stuff, but we see the ball, so maybe not such a tough lie.
Everybody stand still on the path, please.
Well, let's take a closer look at this final group today. We did mention they're playing in threesomes, and thanks to Patty Tavatanakit's win at the ANA Inspiration earlier this season, all 3 are major champions. You see Jin Young actually the highest ranked in the field this week. We have 7 of the top 10 in the Rolex Women's Golf Rankings. Inbee at number 3 does have a chance to move up to 2 should she win today. An incredible 21 career wins on the LPGA Tour and 7 majors, of course, for Inbee Park. As we go back out to 9 and Patty.
She has 184. There's just a 5-iron for Patty. This one drawing towards the hole. The green does kick to the left.
And what you should see the rest of the day is the same pattern that you saw here at 9. Inbee is going to be the first to play to almost every green. You can turn that to an advantage if you do it well.
Okay, well, let's move up to the 12th and get a first look at this short par 4 today. Brooke Henderson, you can see, is tied for 3rd right now, just 1 back at 12 under.
This is a sand wedge for Brooke. Just a little wind. A little bit of wind helping.
That's a good shot. That hole is just 12 feet from the left edge of the green, so don't mess with left of the hole.
Moving up 1 hole to Maria Fassi on the 13th. This is that split green. It's higher on the left and lower on the right. Hole location back right today. Wow! Throwing darts.
Well, go back to 12K, and you've got quite the group here. Brooke Henderson and Celine both going low so far today.
Yeah, they're making it look very easy, hitting a lot of fairways and greens. Trying to get this one nestled in tight. Ooh, it hit hard. That first bounce was very firm and no spin.
Didn't really get away from her, though, so I don't think it's going to be too tough.
So here are how things stand. Jin Young Ko and In-Bee Park tied atop where they started the day, but both 2 under through their first 8 holes, and plenty of others chasing. Today's coverage is brought to you by ShopRite, helping you get it together, together. By Volunteers of America, and by Skechers. Be comfortable with Skechers Go Golf Pivot Footwear, worn by Brooke Henderson.
Just a moment ago, Jin Young Ko off the side of the green on the 9th.
And not an easy lie, Paige. It was sitting down.
The green.
She struck that really well.
And everything slopes away from her from here on in. And it's a pretty excellent touch.
It could have done it, Paige.
Well, let's go up to the 12K, and Celine Boutier trying to...
Above the hole, she has to be a little cautious with the speed. And that moved left very quickly.
Yeah, trying to putt through the fringe. Looking like she'll 2-putt for par as we go back to 9.
And In-Bee Park now.
Much more straightforward shot from here, Paige. Still uphill to start with, but then back downhill, breaking left.
No. Come on.
Have a little bit of work left to do for her birdie. Now Brooke Henderson.
Yeah, an uphill putt, not much break to it. This for her 7th birdie on the round. Yeah, she played for left to right, and nothing was really there.
Okay, I think she got fooled by Celine coming from the opposite direction.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Patty Tavatanakit was able to find the putting surface in 2 on this par 5.
And really not a bad place to putt from at all, Paige. This back uphill should break a little left, but all in all, I mean, just a tremendous shot and a great opportunity to kind of chip away at the leader's lead. And I think she's going to have to start doing that with just this hole and the rest of the back nine to go. Oh.
It doesn't feel like you're picking up much ground even with birdies on these par fives. Now over to Maria Fosse to try to finish off her birdie after that excellent approach. That would have been for 5 birdies in a row. Been a heck of a run for Maria Fosse. You can see the projected rank for the CME Group Tour Championship, trying to get inside that top 60.
Well, it is time now for our course setup, presented by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. The Seaview Hotel and Golf Club was founded in 1914 by Clarence Geist. 2 golf courses on property, in fact, Judy, the Bay and the Pines course.
Yeah, and they're very different. The Pines course has a lot of tree-lined holes, and this one not so much. The Donald Ross influence is seen everywhere, and short on the scorecard, but not simple.
Now Inby Park for her birdie.
That looked a little delicate there, Paige.
Slightly tentative.
Yeah. You can sense it in the crowd too. They know it.
Well, that has put Jin Young Ko at the top by herself at 14 under. And you knew it was going to break a little bit right to left, but not a super confident stroke through. So unfortunately not able to convert that birdie, but Jin Young Ko, the world number 2, looking very strong, trying to win for the 3rd time in the last 5 weeks.
Well, we just saw Jin Young Ko turn in 3 under par with a 34. It was a nice birdie at the 9th, and now on the tee at 10.
Just have to be careful here not to run too far through down that left side. Fairways are releasing.
Appeared to be a 3-wood, Karen.
Sensible play there, Judy.
And next will be Inby.
Obviously not with the same amount of distance that Jin Young has. Gives her a little bit more freedom on this tee shot.
Well, she will find the fairway. And we saw a little shake of her head after that missed birdie opportunity. Short miss, pretty uncharacteristic from Inbee Park on the 9th hole. Let's see, though, now who's in the comfort zone presented by Zenus. And speaking of Inbee Park, obviously a co-leader to enter this final round. Take a look at where she ranks through those first 2 rounds in select stats. And up until perhaps the last couple of holes, Judy, we've always seen her being in harmony with her putter. But what else stands out here?
Well, she's driven the ball extremely well. She hit an awful lot of fairways, and I don't think it computes to a lot of missed greens on her part, which is a bit unusual. But those 52 putts, only one player in the field was 1 stroke better than that, and that was Jennifer Song. So when you are playing near the lead and when you are putting like that, good things.
And she's got 9 holes ahead of her, as we just saw her kick off on the 10th. 2 under on her day, currently 1 back of the lead that is held.
I think we want to land it a couple on. If you got like 4 yards front slope there on the front. Land it like 92. 92 is going to play
90.
high 80s.
Yeah.
This way.
88?
Yep. Landing on the left one of those 2 guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically she's got a little bit of helping wind here. And she's got 103 all the way to the hole. She's going to try and land this just a little bit on the front edge of the green and let it release back to the hole, being downwind. Everything's so firm. And the ball is sitting down slightly in that first cut, so it shouldn't get too much spin, although that was high.
Oh, that come up a little short there, Karen. To 13.
And Celine Boutier now with her approach shot.
After a strong drive, Paige, that's just a wedge in. Can't see the surface of the green from where she hit.
Well, she'll be pleased with that look for birdie.
Okay, back to 10 and Inbee Park to play next.
She's using a 50-degree wedge. It's from 89 yards. The ball is sitting down just a little bit in this fairway.
Normally so very good with all the wedges in her bag.
How do you sense she is, Karen, after that short miss at 9? A couple of uncharacteristic misses on the green for Inbee so far today.
I know, exactly, but I think that's kind of been the way she's been playing just recently. It's been hard for her to keep the momentum going with her putter across the board. Jin Yun here with this lie. She's got 78 yards to the hole, but she's got a bit of a clump of grass right behind the ball. She's going to have to try and create a little bit steeper angle of attack if she wants to make clean contact on this. She's playing it just a smidge back in her stance to try and do that. And that means it's going to come out a little bit lower.
Yeah, she thought that would run out, Karen.
I did too. That surprised me.
Now back up to Brooke Henderson on the 13th with her approach.
6 paces ahead of Boutier. That from the right-hand side of the fairway. Also a wedge.
Just a little shy, but she will also have a birdie look upcoming.
Well, this is the 14th hole. We'll take a look at the par 4. And we'll go down to Maria Fassi, who remarkably just missed what would have been a 5th straight birdie, but playing from the rough here at the next hole.
Well, she has the strength to handle playing from deeper rough. Yes, she does.
So she'll have another birdie chance, but quickly time to remind you that tonight, Tom Brady returns to New England to face off against his former team, led by Bill Belichick. Buccaneers, Patriots, tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC and Peacock. We'll go back to 13.
And Brooke Henderson, what does she face, Kay?
A very subtle little putt here. It's uphill, almost going up the fall line. But Paige, it's like there's some influence on the right that could move it a little left, but the mound and you know, dividing spine that goes up the left side will counteract that. So
yeah, The greens book, on certain parts of these greens, it looks like you just dropped a bunch of arrows on the ground and it scattered.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of subtlety.
It's almost like if you're a little confused, it's best to just try to focus on the speed and just get it rolling nicely so it has a legit chance. This looks good.
Oh my.
Hate it when you leave it just a roll short.
Yeah, it's easy to kick yourself after that.
That little tap in counts the same as a 280-yard drive.
It is so hard to comprehend that, Kate.
Isn't it? It's just one of the many things that frustrates you in this game.
Yep.
Well, let's go back to the 10th, Karen, and Jin Young Ko will have a long look at another birdie.
She will. Patty Tavatanaka just putted in front of her and missed. So, but this one, it's going to it should break off the bunker to the right, so it's going to break to the left. It's uphill all the way, and so you feel like you can be a little bit aggressive with this, but you don't want to leave yourself a testy one. That's the balance that you have to find when you're putting on these greens. The balance between being aggressive enough and being careful enough. I think in general when I watch Jin Young play, normally her distance control is so good, and that's probably one of the keys to her success on the greens.
That's about as long as a putt as she ever leaves herself.
Now Celine Boutier for her birdie.
She knows from Brooke's putt she needs to hit this extra firmly. Little move to the left.
They look good for a long time.
And now Inby Park at the 10th, Karen.
Well, and Cara, you asked me about Inby and how she would react. She typically has a great demeanor to her. Obviously, you can see there seems to be a very chill, calm exterior to her. I mean, she has that good short-term memory where she tries to put things in the past, doesn't really dwell on things too much. And I think that's what she has to do here. I mean, this is a great opportunity to, well, it's got to feel like a bounce back. I did not see that moving left.
Well, let's go up to 14 now and check in with Maria Fassi, trying to get another birdie on her day where she's already 6 under.
She has gone to some form of the claw grip, and it clearly has been working. All these players now, though, just about this point on the golf course, will start to feel a little bit of urgency. Like, you know, you can run out of holes. And I only have so many more chances to get a little bit more under par.
Well, let's take a look at the recent champions here at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Mel Reid was defending this week, sadly missed the cut, so not here this weekend. Lexi Thompson is playing today, trying to win for the first time since her triumph here in 2019, but doesn't look likely today either. Anna Nordqvist in the field, the only former champion to go back-to-back in 15 and 16, but you see Stacey Lewis's name. She's another 2-time champion, and Brittany Lincicome, who won here 10 years ago. She's currently tied 7th at 10 under par. She's 4 off the lead, and arguably has as good an opportunity as any of those past champions in the field this week. Well, let's get down to the 10th green, where Jin Young has a short one. You'd think fairly formulaic, Karen, to save par.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't even think twice about this one, but here, that was easy enough though.
What good form she's been in this season. Paige alluded to it a moment ago. She's looking to win for the 3rd time in her last 5 official starts. Those some numbers we'll keep an eye on today as we progress towards the end of the LPGA Tour season. Only the top 60 will secure their place at the CME Group Tour Championship in Naples.
back with Jin Young Ko in the final group at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. They're standing on the 11th tee, a par 3, as they stare down their chances. Jin Young Ko holds a 1-shot lead over Inbee Park. It's been a birdie fest so far today. Low round of the week is only 6 under, 65, and we've got several players at that number currently.
Well, we've been speaking about what Jin Young Ko has done already this season. Let's just remind you, at the Volunteers of America Classic, she had a 1-stroke lead entering the final round. This was for a birdie at the 10th. It got her to 17 under. She would then finish with 7 straight pars after a bogey at the 11th, capped off by this par save at 18 to get to 16 under and produce a 1-stroke victory over Matilda Castro. It was her 8th career LPGA Tour title and came just 1 week after she lost the world #1 ranking to Nelly Korda, which was after Nelly, of course, won the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Then just a couple of weeks ago at the Cambia Portland Classic, this event was shortened to 54 holes after Saturday was a washout. Here at 18 on Sunday, a nice birdie to cap off a bogey-free final round 69 to finish at 11 under and win by 4. She was the only player to have all 3 rounds in the 60s with rounds of 69, 67 and 69. And today, Paige, she seeks her 10th career LPGA Tour title.
Impressive resume, Karen.
It really is. I mean, and just impressive, and so much about her game reminds me of watching Annika Sorenstam play. I mean, just so consistent across the board, and when she gets in the heat of battle, she doesn't want to let it go. This is a 7-iron. I think she's going to have to catch all of it to get it there. It is slightly back into the wind.
That was a big ask for 7-iron today, and players haven't gotten a lot of help from landing short of this green.
No, that's I think that's one reason the scores are low today. The greens are a little more receptive. The fronts have been soft all week.
So we go up to Celine Boutier at 14.
Playing down towards the Reeds Bay, and the breeze picking up a little bit across from the right. It actually should be helping a little bit as well. That's a 7-iron for Celine. Hoping for a good bounce.
Well, she got it.
She sure did. I don't think Celine loved the way she struck that, but I think she'll take the result.
Okay, we cannot see a golf ball for Brooke Henderson.
It is a terrible lie. It's barely 2 feet off the intermediate cut, but it's sitting poorly.
So I think I should go left, eh?
Yeah.
Just full pitching.
Yeah, and it's going to have to run for you. I mean, it should. But that's going to land probably 8 short.
Of the green.
Yeah, don't you think, with that lie? I think it's probably, if you normally hit 120, I think it's going to land 115, which is like 8 short.
I think I should do like 125 with 9.
I was sort of thinking that. Or just like your 120, 122.
Do I have to go left still?
Yeah, I would say go a little left, but you don't have to go that much. Just get to a certain depth.
Lands like 120. It's just short of the front. I like that.
Yeah.
The 20 will probably still be off the back, do you think?
Well, if you think that, then just hit this one. Because it is going to run probably 20, 15. It's landing just short. She had to get
So it's
just,
120 for this?
yeah.
Just left of where the rough judge
Sister Brittany was a very good player in her own right.
A little bit overthinking, Judy, I believe, on this shot. It's not that, I mean, because you have the lie you have, it's not going to come out very well. So you have to allow for hit and release in between the wedge and the 9-iron.
Yeah, she took the longer club.
And that's going left, hoping to catch some of the left part of the green.
Yeah, on and off.
Not the contact she was looking for, that's for sure. Back to Inbee Park at the 11th.
Using 1 club more here, Paige, using the 6-iron. Still back into the wind. This one started right, trying to draw left.
Nicely done. At the beginning of the week, everyone was talking about how linksy it is and typically plays a lot softer, but we've seen a firmness this week that we don't see every year, and players having to navigate that. And Jin Young Ko so far doing that the best of anybody. Inbee Park had a 3-shot lead early, but has lost ground to Jin Young Ko. And Brooke Henderson having a great day so far on her round, 6 under on the day. You can see Jodi Utert-Shadoff, an important week for her, 108th in the CME rank. A good week would help get her closer to that top 60, which would get you into the CME Group Tour Championship, a goal for all of the players to play on the LPGA Tour. Taking the trip down to the furthest corner of this golf course to the very scenic 15th par 3 in Maria Fassi. It's 203 yards today. It's been playing very difficult par 3. Maria's got power to be able to hit iron into this green, maybe get a little higher trajectory. Well, plenty of power, but that's going to leave a very challenging up and down. Now back to the leader, and Jin Young Ko just off the green here.
Initially, Paige, she had a wedge out, and has decided against that play and got the putter. And I personally think this is a good move. The wedge from the front of the green is always a little bit dicey because it lands so firmly at the front and releases down as this green slopes away to the back. So I really like this play.
Good fun.
So that's often used on a links type golf course. It's often used in the state of Texas. Got a little name there, Texas wedge, but it's a bit of a guessing game as far as the touch goes.
Let's go up to 14, and Brooke Henderson-Kay needs to make up from that slightly squirrely one that came out of the right rough.
Yeah, at least she avoided the bunkers and the really heavy fescue, going with that Texas wedge, Judy, and she paced it all the way up there, 25 paces from her ball to the hole, so a 75-footer she has to negotiate. A lot of fringe and closely mown area to putt across before it hits the green.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to factor in when it becomes a putt that long, and one thing is make sure you hit that ball really solid.
Yeah, she took a pretty long, firm stroke with that. And it's got a nice line. Really, really well done.
It sounds so very basic, but a lot of people with those very, very long putts make a pretty long stroke and they do not hit the putt flush.
Move back to the 11th in Inbee Park, overlooking her birdie chance. Karen, this hole today is playing the 3rd most difficult on the golf course. So not a lot of players able to take advantage.
No, I think one of the difficulty there, Paige, is this front hole location. People get caught in between clubs and they go for the shorter of the two and end up where Jin Young was, and that's never an easy up and down. Inbee, I think you kind of takes your medicine a little bit and plays more towards the back of the green, putting back uphill, but by doing so, leaves you a long putt.
She's an excellent green reader, and today these greens are challenging her.
I'm not going to lose any ground with a par today. Only 7 birdies on the day on this hole. Today we've had some incredible views, and today's aerial coverage is brought to you by Cognizant. It's been nice, not very many clouds in the air, not much obstruction for these players as it relates to the wind either. Been really lovely New Jersey coastal day. Patty Tavatanakit with her par look, Karen.
Yeah, her tee shot ended up right of the green in a... It wasn't a bad lie, but it was such a delicate shot back downhill that she kind of just got a little too much grass around the ball and has come up short. It's a bit of a challenge too. I mean, any putts on this green, I mean, I thought your explanation of what the green book looked like was absolutely spot on. You know, you throw a few arrows down there and they scatter everywhere. It's so difficult just to buy in on one particular line because on a putt this length, it could break 3 different ways.
And let's jump up to 14 quickly, Kay, where Boutier's got this look at birdie.
Trying to make her first birdie on this back 9. Oh, and she's cooled off with the flat stick. And that happens often in this game. The holes are dwindling away.
And there you see it after 6 birdies on the front 9. She turned in 31, but even par through the back 9 so far. As we go back to 11.
And Jin Young Ko, after putting it from off the green to this point, Karen, not a gimme?
No, but no, not at all. It's a little bit, the feeling is that it wants to be a little bit downhill, but on this angle, I think it's going to be pretty flat in terms of speed-wise. Should want to break a little bit to the left. But like I said, I mean, this is not the length putt that you want to keep making for par on this golf course because of the subtlety of these greens. And you talk about what you feel in the feet and what you see with your eyes can be completely different just by the nature of the way the greens are so old. But Jin Young has certainly found a little something with this club over these last few weeks, though. Yeah, so solid.
It's been a tale of 2 different parts of her season with the putter. Really has struggled early part, but said she gained some confidence in Portland and certainly paying off here at the ShopRite LPGA Classic.
Back out at the 12th tee with our leader, Jin Young Ko.
And this is just a tee shot that you have to play strategically and put it down into a position.
I agree.
And this one should be just fine.
Yeah, Karen, that looked like a club with some loft, not even a 3-wood.
Maria Fassi missed the green left on this par 3, chipped it up to this point. So this remaining for her par. Great putt, keeps the momentum going. Maria Fassi 6 under on her day, has made a huge move up the leaderboard. Finds herself in 5th place.
It's a fist pump like she's tied for the lead, but in her mind, with all the things on the line, it's like being tied for the lead.
And that was Imby off the tee at 12.
Same strategy for her, just trying to put this one into a position, and she's done so.
Come on.
Take a look at how things stand. Imby one back. Oh, she did begin the day tied with Jin Young Ko. Brooke Henderson and Celine Boutier continue to try and push. Maria Fassi, we just showed you that fist pump, how much this move means to her. We're keeping an eye on the CME point standing. She's trying to move up. She'd jump actually where she currently stands from 121st into 89th, but really needs to be top 80th to secure her status for next season. And top 60 book their place at the CME Group Tour Championship as we go back to Cheyenne Knight.
She has the honor on this tee due to her birdie that she made at 13. That was a 5-iron, pushed it the entire way. I think that would have been the right club.
Yeah, not happy with the strike on that shot. Kay, I'm seeing a little more reeds moving in the wind.
Definitely the wind has picked up in the last 15-20 minutes, and it shifted direction a little from the west to the south, and the south wind is a helping wind on this tee.
It's a relief in some ways. It's playing 203 yards today uphill, but also one of the firmest greens, so not an easy task to get close to this hole.
And that wind, although it's helping, it might almost create an effect where the ball dives a little bit, and when it hits, really scoots. Looks like Brooke for the 2nd hole in a row in between clubs.
Well, she's had a little bit of
This is all in just 25, you know. So like, if it's ran against the green, it's gonna have trouble stopping.
And with that,
trouble getting, it's gonna be like first, third, and middle. This side. Yeah. Just at the white tree. Yeah, right side.
yeah,
Straight down.
Don't think you really want to take on this flag stick, but aim a little bit right of it. And if you end up hole high right, that'd be really nice. It's just a matter, Paige, of where this lands and how it kicks. Does it kick to the left? Does it kick and kind of die? Or does it move to the right? You can't control that.
Go.
You know, I think she kind of towed that a little. It's kind of a toe hook effect where it's bounced on. She's going to have a long putt, but she's on the putting green.
Yeah, it's a pretty good leave from what we've seen today.
Well, let's jump back to 12 and check in with Jin Young Ko.
Well, she's got 121 all the way back to the flag. And as Kay's just mentioned, there has been a wind shift, so it's a little bit more off the right. The trouble with that is that if you get this riding the wind and it goes a little bit long and a little bit left, that's absolutely dead, long and left of this whole location. So you really have to pay attention to your trajectory here on this shot and try and control the distance. The line is just a little bit right of the flag, and this one drawing towards the hole. Perfectly played.
She took something she could make a nice full swing, go at it pretty hard, and as a result, that's why the ball had enough action to sit right down.
I wouldn't play it much more, because if this rides it, it helps it. Okay? So, just a Jin Young's ball, yeah? Right, mate. I like that.
And words of wisdom there from Bad Breacher there. This from 107, this just a wedge for Imby. He was talking about it riding the wind and going long. That's not what you want. You want to kind of hold it against the wind. and that's way right.
Just doesn't seem herself today, Karen.
No, not really.
And she started well.
She did. Birdied her very first hole. Let's go back to 15.
And Celine Boutier now.
Going with the 5-iron. Again, trying to hit that front yardage, 182. Drawing this in. This is coming in pretty hot.
Yeah, her iron play is the strength of her game. Well, not in a bad spot.
The short par 4 12, Karen, and this is what Imby has for her third.
And it's not a very nice lie. The only thing in her favour is she has a lot of green to use. I think this still has to sit down, though.
Settle. Settle.
Now Celine Boutier just from over the green.
Shouldn't be a problem, Paige. Chipping back into the wind, took the higher route, used that wind to help.
No problem is right. Nearly dunks it.
Well, if you can't putt him in, you try to chip him in.
Almost a sense of frustration there, but a very easy par.
Let's go back to 12 and Jin Young Ko with another birdie. Look, this would open up a 2-stroke lead.
It would, and I think Jin Young Ko is just relentless, Cara, Judy, when it comes to how she goes about her business on the golf course. She hits fairways, she hits greens, and that just puts so much pressure on the people that she plays with. I mean, I think even Imby Park has started to succumb to a little bit of that today.
That will be a 4. Par for Jin Young Ko, who's making just her second appearance here, by the way. First in 3 years. The only other time she played here, 2018, she finished down in a tie for 61st. So much improved so far.
Cara, that little move she made right there is about as demonstrative as she gets on the golf course.
Well, you might get a little celebration here from Brooke Henderson if she's able to knock this down for birdie.
Most definitely we'll see a response. This is a good 35-footer. Almost hole high right. Not much break to it. Slightly uphill. And you just feel like you got to start hitting them more inside 15 feet.
And Imby's left herself a lot of work for par, Karen.
She does. It's just outside that range where you feel like you should make, so it might free her up a little bit to let this putter release nicely here.
You know, that's the second par save of that kind of a distance we've seen her miss today. She had one at the 4th, and that will be another bogey there at the 12th. So she drops back to 12 under, and despite not converting her birdie, Jin Young Ko still secures a 2-stroke lead through 12 holes. Take a look at this then. Most wins by players from the Republic of Korea. Should Imby Park ultimately win today, it would be her 22nd career victory, and she would move within 3 of joining Se-Ri Pak as the winningest player from the Republic of Korea in LPGA history. Meanwhile, you see Jin Young Ko, along with Na-Yeon Choi, who's also in the field, currently at 9 victories. Well, she's looking to join Imby as only the 5th player from Korea to reach double-digit wins on the LPGA Tour. Go up to 12, where Patty Tavatanakit now, Karen, has her chance to save par.
She does. She hit a good tee shot down here. Only had 67 yards left, but couldn't control the distance, and it just went over the back of the green. Played a nice chip down to this point, though. I watched her yesterday, and she was really good around the greens in general, playing some great-looking chip shots, and commented how dangerous a combination that is with her length and then having a good short game, much that we saw with Ariadne Tanagan.
I think you got to give a little nod, though, to the 12th hole. This short par 4 is really a good hole, and there's a lot of ways to make birdie, but there's a lot of ways to get in trouble.
Yeah, playing just 321 yards today, the longest, though, that it has all week. As we go back to Maria Fassi, just with 3 holes to complete now. This will be her second at 16. Currently tied for the low score of the day. 6 under on her round so far. Comes up a little short. Front pin position today. Just tucked on that front right-hand side. She'll have a bit of a
straight par 4. Jin Young Ko up.
Made it a little bit more difficult with this change of wind because now the wind is on the player's back, and that's never a very comfortable spot for a right-handed player, having the wind on your back.
Just left to right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Trying to cling on. Oh, I'd have...
A generous bounce just into the first cut, it looks like, but she should be able to control her spin from there.
Well, the whole location on the right today, Paige, that's a nice advantage. See if Paddy can let one fly here. Really open up her shoulders and let this one go.
Look good starting out.
Thank you.
Sure did. Catch that fast track down the right side as well. That's huge.
That's awesome.
Huge.
But when you look at what this group stacks up off the tee, Paddy Tavatanakit, as you can see, 7th on the LPGA Tour at 276 yards. Jin Young Ko very much middle of the road at nearly 260, and Inbee Park playing at a 30-yard plus disadvantage.
I think, Paige, that's why she's able to come to this golf course and be comfortable when she's on it. It's the shortest one the LPGA players play all year, and she doesn't have to try and do too much.
No, and a lot of the holes players are taking less than driver, and so Inbee Park doesn't lose much to the field on those holes.
Well, let's head up to 16, where Farsi left herself a long look at birdie on this par 4. And that one will slip by to the right-hand side. But someone who I'm sure was an interested spectator today is the sponsor exemption. Mega Gane played with Maria Fassi the first couple of rounds here. Mega didn't make the cut, but she said Maria is her most favorite player on the LPGA Tour and really relished the opportunity of playing Friday and Saturday alongside her idol.
Her second on this par 4.
She's pulled an 8-iron out. Is slightly wind helping here, off the left.
That's on the correct level. This is the 2-tier green, sloping from left to players right.
Just left of them. Coming down between the two guys and the other.
Jin Young Ko's got a pitching wedge out. This from 130. Does play uphill about 3 to 4 yards. And from this angle, there should be a little bit more help in it than from the right side of the fairway, just because the wind is helping off the left. The lie is not bad.
The shot is good.
Yes. That'll be another good look for Jin Young Ko.
We'll go up to 16 where we find Kay with Celine Boutier.
Really important for both Boutier and Brooke to pretty much birdie out. They have to at least get past Jin Young Ko, given the fact that they're 3 holes ahead. That's a sand wedge. Trying to get it to stop.
Oh, good shot. This was a really hard hole yesterday with the hole in the back portion of the green up on top of a tier. Little more pleasant today with the front hole location.
Now Patty Tavatanakit, what does she have left, Karen?
Oh, not very much, just a little 97 yards, but the tee shot went 305.
I said this was a long hole. It's a long hole for most players.
Well, she was the longest drive of the week. Next longest was Lexi Thompson at 292.
Wow.
Oh, beautiful.
And nicely done.
Well, back up to 16K. You mentioned a good finish for Boutier and Brooke.
Yes, and it comes down to how well can you hit your wedges. Little lob wedge here. You're going to have a wedge of sorts on the 17th. And then the reachable 18th. Bringing that in low, trying to get it to check fast. But it took a hard bounce. Yeah, would like to have gotten that in much closer.
Now moving up to the 17th hole, short par 3. Maria Fassi won't have much more than a wedge into this hole. Hole location tucked on the right corner of this green. Not a lot of room. Safe.
Pretty tough birdie putt, but she does still have the par 5 18th to play, which she should be able to handle quite easily.
Well, let's take a minute to let you know that final round coverage of the Sanderson Farms Championship comes your way today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Golf Channel, where rookie Sahith Theegala leads by 1 through 54 holes. And back to 13 and Ibby Park.
One of the good things about following Imby is that she tends not to overcomplicate things on the green. She tends to just get a brief look at the putt and tends to just feel things into the hole. She could really do with feeling this one in though right now. She stayed down nice through that one. That's aggressive.
Well, let's take a look at some insights by KPMG. And over the last 5 LPGA seasons, Inby Park is now 3 for 6, converting leads or co-leads entering the final round into victories. Most recently, in her first start this year, that was at the Kia Classic in March, where she previously finished runner-up at that event 3 times. Also converted from this final round lead a couple other times. Not quite out of it yet, though.
I find it interesting, Paige.
The whole tour has gotten longer and stronger and more powerful, and she's still had and found success doing what she's done well for the last decade.
It's hard. It's really hard to keep reminding yourself that the only thing that really counts is the score.
It is, especially when you're playing with somebody like Paddy who just can crush it. And it just is it's a little painful reminder that, you know, time doesn't wait for anybody, does it? I mean, you have your moments where you have to take advantage and play throughout your peak. And then there's a new, younger a lot of players that come through, but Inbee is just remarkable in that how she's remained so competitive throughout, and the will and desire to win and achieve is still so strong with her.
Yeah, well, Inbee 33, Jin Young Ko 26, and this is the kid, Patty. She's just 21.
This would be a nice little birdie here. Will it break?
Yes.
Driver wedge putt.
Sounds very simple, doesn't it?
What's amazing, Karen, we talked about, you know, Inbee Park's finishing, you know, winning 3 of her last 6 where she co-led or led coming into the final round. Jin Young Ko has an unbelievable record. She's actually won 6 of her last 7 while leading going into the final round.
I mean that's crazy. I think if you were to do a deep dive and go into Inbee Park stats back in 2013, 14, 15, Inbee Park was closing at about that same clip too. So what you're seeing is a transition of ages, really. You know, you have Inbee Park when she played her best back in 13, 14, 15, and now you've got Jin Young Ko at her peak with this to get another birdie and to go to 15 under par. Oof.
U-turn. Wow.
Okay, up to 16, and Brooke with a birdie look.
Another really tough one to read. Looks like it should go left to right, but pretty straight. Yeah, she played for that left to right, and it's just not there.
Since her getting a bit more frustrated, she got off to such a good start today. Got up to 17.
Maria Fassi with this lengthy birdie putt.
I didn't see that coming, Paige.
No, I mean, it's not a difficult hole when you've got wedge in hand, but she made it happen with the putter this time. What a day for Maria Fassi.
Yeah, well, like I said, she's got that par 5 coming up. Her best finish ever, 9th place.
And now Boutier, might she have learned from Brooke?
She should have. Virtually the same putt. Got to play this straight and firm, even though it's fast. Oh, she did. That was a brave putt. Paid off.
And that will put her up into 2nd place alone, just one back of Jin Young Ko. Maria Fassi just joined the group at 12 under, which Celine has just jumped out of. So let's update you on how this leaderboard looks. Celine Boutier now 7 under on her day with a couple holes still to play. We just showed you Maria Fassi. How fun is she to watch? 7 under as well with 1 hole still to play. Judy pointing out that is a par 5, and it is a very scoreable hole. Also the risk reward Aon Challenge hole this week as well. Lowest score posted already today with a 65 from Paula Rito. As we now head out to the 16th tee, and Patty Tavatanakit will be the first to play.
Well, and with this club out, I think she can make mincemeat of this hole as well. I mean, the last one was 305. I mean, the wind off the right, there's not an awful lot of hurt in it off this angle, so if she can get this one drawing on this wind, this will leave her with just a short shot in here, and that's unheard of normally on this golf course.
This is the 14th tee, not the 16th.
And the bunkers that you play over that are maybe 150 yards off the tee give it that real links look.
Oh, it was a well-struck shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, high-face bunkers on this Donald Ross design. Many of them with tall fescue grasses. You can see at the back of those 2 bunkers off the tee. Shouldn't cause anyone too much trouble. It's more of a visual effect, is it not, Judy?
Yeah, you have to be a certain height to actually see the fairway. I am not of that height, but these players are just on the edge. I think if you're 5'6", 5'7", you can probably see the fairway.
Judy, that isn't an altitude I reach either, so I never saw the fairway. Good job that Dave Booker's like 6 foot plus, so he probably has a good idea on where that fairway is, giving Jin Young Ko the line here. I mean, basically there's some pine trees down the left side. You can use those as a guide. This one might be a little bit left though, to be honest, and it's drawing.
Well,
Well, it's going to be just left of perfect.
Well, Inbee Park will be next to play. She's down in a tie for third all of a sudden.
And this, Cara, Judy, is what we tend to see with Inbee. Her success definitely rides on the putter. The first 2 days it was hot, and today it's been a lot colder for her.
Well, and she's had some mishits, which really, when you're giving up a lot of yardage off the tee, you can't afford that.
Well, that one will just hang on with the left-hand side. But yeah, Inbee just 52 putts across the first 2 rounds, 27 on Friday and 25 on Saturday.
Now Celine Boutier on the 17th.
Taking a lot of time with this pitching wedge. Fanned it out to the right. Not what she was looking for at all. That is a good 35+ feet from the hole.
We just saw one go in from somewhere around.
The par 3 17th, and Brooke Henderson looking this one over.
Yeah, taking an aggressive line. Not much left to this flag. Going right at it.
Yeah, only 3 paces just left of it.
Good shot.
Well, let's go back to 14, where Inbee Park will be first to play.
I like that club, mate. No, neither do I. It's definitely got to bounce on up there. All right.
I love how he calls her mate.
Well, she's got 157. She's got a 7-iron. It's off of a bit of a downhill lie, so they are expecting this to release. And as Brad said, it definitely will bounce up there, mate. It's a good-looking shot.
Go on.
Good shot. Yeah.
Let's take a look at some insights by KPMG, and Jin Young Ko will be next to play from 142 yards. So worth noting that from both 100 to 125 and 125 to 150 yards away, Jin Young Ko ranks amongst the top 10 on the LPGA Tour in average proximity to the hole. And despite that fact, she did even better, as you can see, in the second round yesterday.
Oh, she's using a 9-iron here, Cara, and she's just really good across the board. And I think both Judy and I have made comparisons to Annika Sorenstam in the way that she goes about her business and plays golf. Not as long as Annika, but just how accurate she is and where she can place her shots. This one's on a good line too, maybe just left of the hole.
Yeah, beautiful.
Just relentless.
And she consistently, throughout her full shot game, holds her finish.
Yep.
I think that's something that is by design.
Now Celine Boutier with that birdie putt.
So much to try to get right on this putt, slinging right to left. Oh, and it just straightened out at the end. That was a really good run.
Well, back to 14, and that was Patty from the rough.
Yeah, has a decent lie. Grass is growing with her.
Rolls out just a little bit. She may well be the first to play once they reach the green. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the players who have earned the most top 10s this season with our Leaders Cosmetics top 10s leaderboard. And you see Patty, despite being a rookie, she is a second-year rookie, though, given what took place with the pandemic last year. 8 top 10s this season, including, of course, a major championship. Jin Young Ko currently tied for first with Nelly Korda, so looking likely to overtake Nelly Korda with her finish here this week. Very likely to be inside a top 10 finish today. And we'll go back to 17.
Saw the lengthy birdie putt by Celine Boutier that just missed. Now Brooke Henderson not nearly that length, Kay?
No, I might have to defer to you on what this putt does, because looking at the book and looking at it with my eyeball, I could almost read right to left or left to right, because there's arrows coming from both sides.
You know what that means, Kay?
Yeah, play it straight.
That's right.
Play it straight and firm.
If I were Brittany, that's likely what I would be saying, and according to the Greens book, there's not a lot of action in this area.
I always felt like if you didn't see a definitive break immediately, then probably it's safe just to keep it inside the hole and really focus on the appropriate speed. Your mind can try to read things that aren't there.
Yeah, Brooks had a little bit of a down part to her season, won in April, but hasn't had a top 10 since June. Trying to get a little momentum coming into this final stretch on the LPGA season.
And it's a possibility that she could finish birdie eagle.
Wow. It's a good roll.
Oh, that putter has gone cold on this back nine, combined with the fact she just hasn't had as many close looks at birdie.
Well, got off to a very hot start this morning. 5 under on her opening 9. Birdie at the 10th, and just, you got to look at this and think there's a little bit of luck that wasn't going her way in that one.
Yeah, that's the second time in, I don't know, the last 7 or 8 holes that she's hit a putt that looked that good and stopped that close and didn't cash in.
Well, Patty will be first to play at 14.
She will be, and this is another one of those. The farther away you are from the hole, the more difficult the putts are to read, and hence get the right speed on. But Patty is 3 shots back. Jin Young Ko has another good look at birdie. It's the pressure is firmly on the chasers to try and make something happen.
Stays low the whole way. She was bogey-free yesterday with her second round 65 to earn her place in this final grouping. Love what she said afterwards. She's been really focused these last couple of days, and she hadn't really felt that concentration in a while, so feels some good momentum coming into these last few weeks of the season. This one, of course, the 25th of 30 total events on the LPGA Tour this season. She also spoke, Karen, about wanting to enjoy it a little bit more, because the last couple of times she's been in contention, she's tried too hard to force things to happen and therefore didn't really enjoy it.
Well, I do think that when you go ahead and win a major and you like the A&A Inspiration, all of a sudden everybody's expectations increase and your own expectations increase on yourself, and that puts pressure on, and when you don't live up to them, it can make things hard for you. And I think enjoying golf and getting back to what you were doing before you became a major champion actually can help matters. And I think that's something that Inbee Park does so well. I mean, she just doesn't put any pressure on herself to do anything but play golf as she enjoys.
That's a much-needed birdie for Inbee Park. Some nice crowds out there too, Karen. Good to see the spectators back here this year. Who do you sense they're rooting for in your group?
It's a really tough call. I think I think everybody respects Inbee and Jin Young for their careers and their golf, and I think they're all kind of excited at what Patty does when she pulls the driver out. I mean, much in the same way as you see with Bryson when he pulls the driver out. There's a bit of an ooh and ah factor about it, but I think they're a very golf knowledgeable crowd here that know their golfers, they know the game, and they know this golf course so well, so they know what's good, and they're very respectful of that and the players. And I really feel that they're torn, to be honest with you, between the players in this group.
Well, Jin Young looking to match Inbee and keep a two-stroke advantage. Inbee's climbed to within one after that birdie.
Don't believe there's much in this putt, Cara.
Wow.
That was cruel.
That was as tough as the one that just happened to Brooke Henderson.
Yeah, the hole didn't give her any love that time. So it will be a par, and Jin Young will remain at 14 under through 14 holes with just a one-stroke lead now over Inbee Park and Celine Boutier, as we take one more look at that cruel lip out for the world number 2.
And Ewart
well, it's Sunday. Now, the ShopRite LPGA Classic, a 54-hole event. So this the third and final round where the highest ranked player in the field has a slight advantage coming down the final stretch here by 1 over Inbee Park and Celine Boutier. We've had some good moves today. Let's show you how Jin Young Ko got to this position. This was her first birdie of the day at the 4th, and Judy, much needed really after a bogey at her 2nd hole.
Right, and she had watched Inbee Park birdie the 1st hole and get off really well.
So that one at 4, then this at 6.
This is the tough par 4 that plays back toward the bay.
So she'll get to 1 under on her day, and then on the very next hole, the only par 3 on the front 9 here with a 3 hybrid in hand. From the tee at 7.
Great balance, holds that finish.
And would convert that for back-to-back birdies. So 2 under through 7 holes, and then up at the 9th, this a par 5.
This was really a superb shot.
A 3rd. Just rolled over the edge from being an eagle. She'd tap in for the birdie. So she would turn in 34. 3 under par. And here she is waiting on the 15th tee. And we'll go up to the green.
And the par 3 15th, Brittany Lincicome has an outside look at birdie. Tough hole today, playing 203 yards on the card.
Well, up to 18, and this will be the final hole this week for Leona Maguire, but a chance to end with an eagle. So much attention coming into this week. Her first appearance since the Solheim Cup, where she was the only player to play all 5 sessions and the only player amongst both teams to go undefeated. Well, next week, the LPGA Tour heads north on the Jersey Turnpike for a visit to Mountain Ridge Country Club for the Cognizant Founders Cup. World number 1 Nelly Korda will return to action also for the first time since the Solheim Cup, and first round coverage comes your way Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time here on Golf. So this a birdie to finish for Leona Maguire.
She won't be thrilled with this week, but she is really riding a high from the Solheim Cup, and I'm guessing sooner rather than later it'll turn into a win on this tour for her.
Well, we told you about the Founders Cup next week in this same state of New Jersey. Well, Jin Young Ko is actually the defending champion, could also enter next week as the most recent champion on the LPGA Tour. Then it'll be a couple of weeks in Asia for the BMW Ladies Championship and the Toto Japan Classic before the tour heads to Florida to conclude the season at the Pelican Women's Champ. Single prize in the history of women's golf.
Now Inbee Park at the tee on the 15th.
And this is a 4 hybrid. Plays quite downwind today. This one's starting a little bit right at the flag. Needs to kick a bit left. It's a safe play there though, Paige.
Yeah, it was a crosswind yesterday for the players from left to right. Downwind, it makes it very difficult to get on that putting surface.
Well, there was a bit of a hold-up on 18, but Maria Fassi is now playing her 2nd at this par 5.
Well, and as I said, long off the tee, this is a 5-iron for Maria Fassi. Oh boy, one more bounce, and I tell you, she would have been in that 6-foot circle.
Now Patty Tavatanakit.
And this is a 6-iron. I think the one thing to be careful of, if you get this ball going left of this flag, you can get some wicked bounces. But this one just slightly right of the flag as well. And again, another good quality shot.
Yeah, that's really a good shot. Really good.
Helps to have a little bit of power on a hole like this. You can see even with that good of a shot, it was still had to be landed short of the green there, Karen.
Exactly. Jin Young also going with a 6. I think this is one that she has to really kind of get hold of.
6 iron. Surprising.
It is downwind, but she has to be relying on this landing shot, bouncing up. This started right. It is drawing a little bit. Oh, watch out now. There's that wicked bounce. Yeah, this hole just got very interesting, Paige.
It certainly did. We'll get back to it, but just worth checking in with the leaderboard one more time. Jin Young Ko, 14 under par after rounds of 66 and 65 so far this week. Entering today, she was a combined 48 under par in her last 16 rounds and said yesterday her game on the front 9 was perfect.
Okay.
모래? 아니 돌. 돌 치워도 돼. That's a big one. We're moving the rocks. Okay. There's a bunker. Very rocky.
15, Jin Young Ko in a little bit of trouble there, Karen.
She is. The one thing that's working in her favour is she's got a little bit of an upslope here, so that'll help to get the ball up in the air. Difficulty is she's going to be landing on a downslope down towards the hole. Doesn't get a huge amount of help from the wind direction on this either, so all in all, this is going to have to land very precisely, just about a yard over onto the green and let it trickle down to the hole, but with a lot of height and some spin.
We got a good shot at exactly how far below the surface of the putting green she's standing.
Now that's came out fiery.
Yeah, not bad though. And a good time to say that for those of you who are real fans of this golf course, in about a month, there's going to be a bunker renovation all around this place, and I think mostly working on those greenside bunkers.
Okay, so this is an eagle opportunity for Maria Fassi that would tie her for the lead at 14 under par. She's 7 under on her day through 17 holes. And this all began, Judy, with a bogey at the second hole, but never really looked back since then. Eagle at 3, birdie at 5 and 9, so she turned in 3 under 34, and she's had 4 birdies on her back 9 so far, including one at the very last hole on 17.
And we're still looking at the best round of the week, 6 under par 65. It bounced right in the beginning. It did not come out smooth.
So she'll have that for birdie. We'll come back to it, but now let's sneak back to 15.
And now Inbee Park looking at her birdie putt.
Pretty slippery down the hill, Paige, but back into the wind.
Not enough. A little bit short, and that'll leave her still 1 back from Jin Young Ko. That 15th hole right along Reed's Bank. It's a lot of the wind that comes whipping down. You saw the wind turbines in the distance. Now Patty Tavatanakit looking at her birdie putt.
Well, if you're Patty, you have to think that there's a little window of opportunity here. If you can make this, and if Jin Young Ko doesn't make hers, all of a sudden it's a little bit game on, isn't it? And Patty hasn't really been in the conversation with this group, but she sure will if this one goes in the hole with her power. Certainly going down to that 18th. That's a good looking putt.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chasers that have made a lot of noise, but this last group hasn't really had a lot of runs in today's round.
Well, J. Marie Green's been in the same group as Maria Fassi, made a run early as well. She's 5 under on her day.
Boy, a Florida girl who's right in the neighborhood of 7 years on the LPGA Tour, and nice to see her play well.
Yeah, still seeking her first ever victory on the LPGA Tour. As we go back to Jin Young Ko.
On Paige, this is quite a big putt here.
Huge putt.
It's a little bit back uphill as it approaches the hole, so she has to be aware of that as she's making her stroke, just to give that, I would say, an extra 4 inches of roll on this putt because of that little bit of slope towards the hole.
Really not being able to convert on the birdie when Inbee did, matching that, it would be a big deal to lose the stroke and lose the lead if she's not able to convert this.
Absolutely.
So that will drop Jin Young Ko to -13 in a tie with Celine Boutier and Inbee Park, as they only have 3 holes remaining. A lot can still happen, as we've seen in the past.
So now all of a sudden, this birdie putt for Maria Fassi would tie the lead at 13 under par. Oh, heartbreaker, Judy.
Well, I think, you know, everybody that knows her either a lot or a little bit would be rooting for her. She's a great gal. She's started a foundation, Fassi and Friends, that is totally focused on kids and kids playing golf and all kids playing golf. And it was a sweet moment last week when she introduced us to it. Just an overall good gal and an exceptionally good player.
Disappointing finish, but you know, her career low round, she's had a round of 65 3 times on the LPGA Tour. This her first ever round of 64. It is a par 71 this week, but she's so electric to watch as her caddy applauds what she was able to do today. Let's go back down the fairway where we find Kay and Celine Boutier.
And she's been in this fairway for a good 5 minutes. Little slow. This 18th hole's taken a while to play, and she just quietly, I think, stood behind the ball and just visualized what she wanted to do with this. this 3 hybrid that she's pulled out. 185 yards. I'm sorry. 207 yards to the hole. The wind picking up, hurting. 197 to the front, so she's looking to land this about 200. No, she's lost it right, high and right, to the right side of the green. Not that sort of low penetrating shot that she was hoping for.
Wonder if she knows she's currently tied for the lead as we join Inby Park now, also a co-leader at 16.
And this tee shot looks to be starting a little bit down the right, Cara.
Oh dear. Yeah, that is in the rough.
I don't know what we should call that, but it's possibly worse than the rough if it is not in the sand.
Yeah, bunker down there too, so we'll learn more a bit about Inby's tee shot in a moment, but Jin Young Ko needing to bounce back from that bogey at 15.
She does. I mean, I think she's pretty cool, calm and collected. I think the problem was the tee shot there. You cannot go left of that flag. And I think maybe using that 6 iron, she was just trying to get a little bit more out of it than was possible.
Watch this swing. It's a really full golf swing, and then she holds that finish, and she has great balance.
Similar line to Inby's. It's got to go.
Yeah, she carried everything, and it's still chasing.
Okay, let's go back up to 18, and Brooke Henderson with her second.
Brooke with a 4 hybrid, thinking, how can I get this up and in from 185 yards? Well, she struck that nicely with a good line.
Not bad. She'll have an eagle look from just off the edge of the green as things are getting tight. 3-way tie at the top now. 13 under par. Well, we were unsure where Inby's tee ball ended up at 16. Karen, what can you tell us?
I can tell you this is one of those shots that you walk up on and your just heart sinks because it's just so difficult. Ball way below her feet and it's sitting down. Nasty. I mean, there's nothing nice about this shot at all. Really had wished it was in the bunker. She got a lot of ball on that, though. I'm not sure I could have seen anything better than that.
You're so crouched over and your knees are so deeply bent that you can't even make a full swing.
Okay, up to 18. Does Celine Boutier know how this stands, Kay?
The manual leaderboard has not been updated. This chip, pretty fast right to left break. Well, she was plenty aggressive with that.
So she may still think she's won back. No, she's actually in a 3-way tie for the lead. And that would be a birdie to give her the lead outright. We'll come back to 18, but let's go back to 16, where Paddy Tavatanakit will be next to play.
Just clubbed back off the tee and it ran through to here.
Yeah, 105. Can't feel it, but there's a little help. Playing? Yeah. Just over 100, correct.
I think again, you know, even from here, you still have to rely on this one trying to release just a little bit onto the green. Looks like a 50-degree wedge that she's got out here. It sounded really thick.
Get up, get up.
And it stays where she can putt if she chooses to.
Jin Young with the best drive of the 3. Good look here at 16.
It's only got 63 yards to the hole.
And front hole locations, you might think it makes it easier, but it doesn't. They're very difficult to play to with a shot, particularly of this length.
Well, you can't be relying on getting a lot of spin on this with such a short shot, so you have to land this right at the front edge of the green and let it hop forward. Wind direction has a little bit of help to it too, so front edge of the green is a must. Kind of like that.
I think she heard you.
So looking to re-establish her lead straight away. That would be a good birdie opportunity for Jin Young Ko at the 16th hole to get back on top. But we know there's a couple of opportunities up ahead at 18 as well. Inbee Park, meanwhile, has ended up short and to the right here, Karen.
It is, and it's quite a sort of a... There's a little bit of grass around the ball. Again, it's not one that you can really be overly aggressive at and fire at the flag. You kind of want to leave yourself just a little bit... Well, actually, a little bit long and left of this whole location would give you the ideal putt. Looks like she's playing a little bit back in her stance, maybe getting this to land about 3 or 4 steps short and release on.
Is that where you wanted it, Karen?
Absolutely. If I was caddying, I'd be quite happy with that one for her.
It'd be a good pass save. Right, eagle opportunity for Brooke at 18.
Yeah, all the boards have been updated. This a 30-footer, a little right to left. Oh, goodness. Did not hit that solidly at all. Well short. That was very uncharacteristic. Brooke is aggressive by nature and doesn't leave putts that far short.
We'll go back to 16, where Patty Tavatanakit will be first to play on this green.
She initially had a wedge out, but thought better of it. Now has the putter. Should move a bit to the left when this ball gets onto the green. So much of the speed of the putt can depend on how it rolls through that fringe and if it rolls smoothly or if it catches a few little bumps.
Yeah, Karen, we just saw Maria Fassi and then Brooke Henderson, you know, a foot off the green at 18, and neither ball was able to stay close to the ground as it left the putter head. Both really bounced quite a bit.
Yeah, I think the ball just wants to sit down just a little bit, and that's just the nature of the type of grass and just something that you have to allow for. Oh, that's never enough.
Back up to 18, and Henderson now trying to get in for a birdie, Kay.
Yeah, and this is no guarantee. This for her second birdie on the back nine. She birdied the 10th hole and then nothing but pars since. This will pull down to her left a bit. It's to tie for the lead. Oh, snuck it in the left edge.
And she does. But don't forget, Celine Boutier will have a birdie look of her own. She would get to 14 under if she could convert hers. Still a good final round of 64 for the Canadian. Meanwhile, back at 16, Jin Young Ko.
It's all happening, isn't it, right now?
Yes.
You can just feel everybody kind of jockeying for position. And one of the exciting reasons that 18th hole is such a crucial part of this tournament.
Yeah, if you don't like this, you don't like golf.
No, you're so right, Judy.
You ready to tell me your favorite yet, Jude?
You know, I tell you what, I think if I have to put my money, I have to put my money on this player right here.
Especially if this one goes in the hole, right?
She's so cool. May not get there.
So this stays wide open as Jin Young Ko stays at 13 under par. Let's get back to 18, and this is a huge putt for Celine Boutier.
Yeah, just a slight move to the right.
Never a doubt.
Well, she made a tremendous putt at 16 and then here again at 18.
Gutsy putt.
Celine Boutier, a final round 63 to lead by 1. Seeking her second victory on the LPGA Tour. Meanwhile, back at 16, Karen, Patty Tavatanakit for par.
This one back up the hill. That was a quick stroke. Tried to jam it in the hole and close the club face through impact.
So she drops down to 10 under. It's been a bit of an up and down day, as you can see, for Tavatanakit. Meanwhile, Inbee Park has got a par save of her own to stay at 13 under.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, Judy, Cara, you know, here we are watching Inbee still with a putt to sort of be having a chance at winning, and yet she hasn't made putts. She's been missing the putts, and she's still hanging around. I mean, what a competitor.
Yeah, she has made mistakes today, no doubt, but she still has a shot at this tournament.
And she needed it.
Yeah, well done. It's also wonderful to see that gallery behind her. What a week this has been for ShopRite. They were able to welcome the live galleries back on site, and my goodness, are they being treated to a show today. In position for her first ever victory in the United States. Currently a one-stroke lead after an incredible final round 63. Obviously, Jin Young Ko, Inbee Park sit just behind her with a couple more holes to play. So let's get out to the tee at 17.
All eyes on the chasers and Inbee Park here on the tee at 17.
Well, this is a pitching wedge back into the wind. It's going quite a bit left. That's in the bunker.
And Jin Young Ko next.
This also a wedge. And this one's going a bit out to the right.
Not a good shot at all.
Wow, so neither of them in good position. Celine Boutier can only sit and wait, as she is potentially on the cusp of success.
Back with the final group, and Inbee Park at the 17th, her second.
No green to work with here, Paige. Has to throw this one right up in the air and hope for it to stop.
Near perfection.
Would have been a good way to stop it, Paige.
Yes. Well, and that would have been one way to get to 14 under. Leader in the clubhouse, Celine Boutier, 14 under. Everybody chasing, including Jin Young Ko.
And this is not an easy putt, Paige. It is back uphill towards the hole. Sneaky little break, pressure on the line, big scoreboard indicating exactly where they are. Well, that had potential too.
The final hole is a par 5. We've seen quite a few eagle looks, birdies. So a lot still yet to be determined. And while we've got a moment, let's send it down to Kay and Maria Fassi.
Thanks so much, Paige. I'm here with a very happy...
Who projected 90th on the CME group list. That would get her some pretty good status for next year. So big week for Maria Fassi. Now back with Jin Young Ko to try to clean up her par.
And she has a good idea of this one. Patty Tavatanaka had to putt before her on a very similar line, so she knows. But things haven't quite gone her way on the greens these last couple of holes, so could really do with a good solid stroke here, Paige.
A good 2-putt there. See Tom Messina is a medic in the Air Force, served during the Korean conflict. Thanks to him for his service, as well as his service today, taking care of that American flag. Now Inbee Park after that very nice bunker shot.
I mean, that was an all-world bunker shot, wasn't it? Just to see it go as close as it did to trying to go in the hole. I said there is the big leaderboard. Everybody knows exactly where they stand, or they should do. The caddies definitely do, because it looks like they were paying close attention to it.
Well, a good par for both Jin Young Ko and Inbee Park. And they will head to the par 5 18th to see if they can make a late charge and get in the clubhouse ahead of Celine Boutier.
Back at the 18th hole here on the Bay course at Seaview, and this for a closing birdie for Stacey Lewis. Yeah, nicely done. Third round 70 for the two-time champion, 2012 and 2014. That's when she triumphed here. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at this week's Aon Risk Reward Challenge hole. That is the par 5 18th. On this closing hole of the Bay course, players face the critical challenge of securing a red number just to keep pace with the field. Reachable for the longest players on the LPGA Tour, the 18th provides a scoring opportunity that must be unlocked to be in contention. Yielding a field scoring average of 4.54 in 2020, the Aon Insight highlights that those that finished in the top 15 were able to gain almost another third of a stroke on the field here, with a scoring average of 4.28 and making birdie or better a staggering 70% of the time. Stepping up to the tee, better decisions guarantee a look at birdie or eagle and a chance to secure victory on this finishing hole. And those are your last two champions, Lexi in 2019, Mel Reid in 2020. Well, let's take a look at how 18 has played this week. And so far today, you can see second easiest on the golf course, Judy. We expect a couple more low numbers out there today. This is England's Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff with her third.
Player that has had a good week. She talked about trying to maybe enjoy it a little bit more, not be quite so hard on herself, and I think that is a lot of the work that is coming from the sports psychologists in the game and the people helping players mentally.
Well, everyone looking up to this lady, Celine Boutier, looking to become the second ever French woman to win the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Back on the 18th hole, and this is So Young Yu with her third.
And she has not had the best day.
Until now. Nice way to finish the week. Eagle 3 at 18 to cap off a third round 70. And she sits at 8 under par for the tournament, has her tied for 14th. Well, taking another look, Jude.
Big full stroke, and flagstick did its job right there.
Much to the crowd's pleasure, as well as we have another look at our aerial coverage provided by Cognizant, and all the action now is coming really at the top part of your screen. That is the 18th hole. It's a par 5, but it is very reachable for many in the field. This will be a birdie look for Jody Hewitt-Shadoff.
But she still has a pretty good week, and I'm glad to see that for her. It's there have been a few struggles this year.
Yeah, but making a move comfortably inside the top 100 on the CME point standings. Entered the week 108, projected about 87 right now. And top 80 secure full membership for next season. Well, Celine Boutier is staying focused. This would be a big moment for her, Judy. She has won once, as we mentioned, on the LPGA Tour, but never in the United States. She is, however, a 2-time member of the European Solheim Cup teams, and no doubt led to some of her experience. We'll get back to that. Right now, Brittany Lincicome trying to finish off what would have been a difficult day after learning the sad news late yesterday evening of her 91-year-old grandmother passing away. She chose to stay here and finish off the tournament, as Mama Campbell, she calls her, would have wanted her to do so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really just front five. It's all kind of, but I think the 5 would have to come out quite high and soft, you know. Okay, so then if you can get maybe that running, this is perfect. So, George, that's the club, okay? It's going to go through the wind as well.
Well, this is Sue O, who's trying to navigate her way out of the rough to the right-hand side of this closing fairway.
Now, the good thing is if you can manage to hit this ball straight, it's going to run. It's going to chase up on that green for you, but keeping it straight and not hitting it left from here is sometimes pretty tricky. Got it out very high. Very good. Sue O is from Australia, and like so many of these players here, she started playing golf as a child, started at 8 years old.
Well, it's been 11 minutes since our final grouping walked off the 17th green. Karen, there's been quite a long time to wait on this last tee.
It has, and it's one of those things that you do have to prepare yourself for when you get to this 18th hole. Typically there is normally a bit of a wait because it is a reachable hole, but being back into the wind today means that not every player will be able to get there. I think for Imbi, it's imperative that she hits the fairway here just to give herself a chance to roll something up potentially onto the front of the green, and she has done just that. She kept that one quite low to try and maximize any kind of roll out into the wind, but that's still a long way back for her.
They played the farther back tee in the first round, but have played this tee that's a little bit more forward yesterday and today. So 474 yards today on the par 5 and into the breeze.
I think Jin Yun here, much the same way. I mean, I think players obviously want to hit it in the fairway, but some of the stronger players, they can get away with being in the rough. It seems like they can gouge the ball out and still get it rolling towards the green. I think for Jin Yun to get onto this green and give herself maybe an eagle putt for the outright win, I think she really does need to keep this in the fairway. Back into the breeze, but she does have enough length to get there.
So a good line would be the left half of the big white tent in the distance.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good portion. If you take your drive a little bit down the right, you can get a little bit more run out on it.
Meanwhile, up ahead, this is Lincicome's third.
That'll do.
Yeah, that would get her in at 10 under par and 2 under for the day. As Celine Boutier continues to try and keep herself busy as we wait for the final group to complete that final hole. Today's coverage is brought to you by ShopRite, helping you get it together. By CME Group, how the world advances. And by Win Grips, the best grips in golf.
Is 18 the playoff hole?
18. Is everyone on 18 now?
Yes.
Correct. And they all hit good drives?
Back on the 18th hole, where Nana Kurtz-Madsen has a long eagle look. What a week she'd had. Rounds of 66 and 68. Looking to finish with a birdie there at the closing hole. As we go back to the fairway, and this kind of the theme of this last hole, Karen, you alluded to it. Trying to stay patient, stay focused. They both presumably know they need at least a birdie to tie, if not eagle to win.
Absolutely. There was a big scoreboard on the previous hole that they would know.
So back up at the green, the penultimate group are still finishing out. There is the big scoreboard. It shows you that Celine Boutier got it to 14 under. Suo with a birdie look.
She makes a U.S. home in the Dallas area.
That would have put her up into a tie for 5th with... Actually, it would have put her up just behind Maria Fassi at 11 under par, but she'll look to convert here and stay at 10 under.
She has been playing well, though. She was second to Jin Young Ko in Portland just a couple of weeks ago, and things are looking good for Suo at the moment.
Yeah, nice week as she finishes at 10 under. Anna Koerstz-Madsen will have a chance to finish her week with a birdie. Been fairly quiet, this penultimate group today. Saw a lot of movement ahead of them, and the leaders in the final grouping behind them have obviously been much of the story of the day.
Yeah, this has not been her finest hour. She'll be a little aggravated with herself when this round ends. Looks like a round of 74.
Yeah, started off so well with a 66 on Friday, 68 yesterday. Has her at 5 under for the tournament. Now Brittany for birdie. Grandma would be proud. Well done, Brittany. Difficult day, but a good week. 67, 67, 69, and she will finish at 10 under par. Back to the fairway now, Karen, and Inby first.
Not wasting any time. 222 to the front. Going to have to keep this one low, try and chase it. Doesn't have the distance to get it all the way there. This one a little bit left, needs lots of chase.
So we knew it would be an ask for Inby to perhaps get there in 2. What about Jin Young Ko?
Well, Jin Young's got plenty of firepower to get there. 202, 201 to the hole.
If you're Jin Young Ko, Judy, I imagine you're thinking of getting this up and down.
Well, you are certainly thinking about giving yourself that eagle opportunity. You know, if there's any way, and there is a way, because she's right in the center of the fairway and she can get home.
Well, the one thing I would say, Judy, she's on a bit of a downslope and the ball isn't exactly sitting on the tee. It's kind of nestled down, sitting low. I don't anticipate her being able to get all of the ball on the back of the club because of the lie, if she's looking to sweep it off the top. And this is drifting a little bit to the right.
Well, she will putt, but it is a short mile of a putt.
Yeah, she was watching that anxiously. Similar position to where Anna Koerstz-Madsen just was, and we saw her 3-putt from there, so nothing's a given. Paddy Tavatanakit, undoubtedly the longest of this trio.
No question about it.
8 yards short of the green, it goes from down the so pitch it short and 67.
That's fine. We're just trying to play somewhere around the front anyways, right?
Yeah.
We just want to be just right.
Yeah,
So
coming down on the CME, just a nice low.
75. With the low, this should pitch 70.
This
with
is
this
pitch
one, right?
70, yeah, so it's 5 yards short, but it's low, so it should bounce on. Coming down on CME.
Big tie at the tie for 6th at -10, so the way she plays this hole will matter a lot.
There's a 5-iron, Judy. I think she's looking to try and get this one again. Pitching short, chasing up as from listening to the conversation with her caddy, Jason Hamilton. Smooth looking swing, but this one is also out to the right side of the green.
And that was just rolling backward, maybe settling just short right of the green there as this final grouping approaches this final hole. Jin Young Ko, Inby Park, both one back of the lead that has been set by Céline Boutier. Time now, though, for the On Her Turf shots of the day, and we will start with a Canadian currently tied for 2nd. Things were going well for Brooke Henderson on the front. This, her 3rd at 8. dunked it for birdie. As part of what was an incredibly good front nine. And then we saw this a moment ago. So Yeon Yu at 18, her third.
Trying to help a round that she didn't love, and she did it.
That one for eagle. So a couple of nice chip-ins today. As we welcome the final group to this final hole. MB Park not yet on the green though. What's she looking at, Karen?
Well, it's one thing I know, it's a really nice reception for these players as they walk up to the screen.
Yeah, just a word, Karen, for ShopRite, what they've done this week. They've been able to welcome the fans back here. This is such a well-supported event in the local community. They host the world's largest pro-am. It's an incredible stage that they set. 270 professionals across 2 days and 3 golf courses on Wednesday and Thursday before the competition begins here on Friday. It's been a really wonderful event. 12 months on from no fans, no pro-am. They've been able to get back to business as usual here, and it's been a wonderfully successful week.
Sorry, mate. Slide all the way close to that front edge. Let it take a couple of bounces up there, yeah?
Yeah.
I think 50's kind of a bit too inconsistent. I think if you fly this, like a couple shy of that front in line with the flag, mate, this bounces up there nicely, all right? See your shot into it.
What, 30 yards?
36 total.
So the players is to bounce it into the upslope and let it hop up and onto the green. There's so little green to use if you want to just land it on. It's almost impossible, and if you land it shorter, judging the release through the grass is also tough. This definitely would be the play that most players would choose.
Boy, this is a tricky, tricky shot to get close.
It really is, Judy. That's too far, I think. Should have a chance.
Yeah, not by much, though.
That will be to tie the lead. 14 under currently set by Céline Boutier in the clubhouse. Knowing Imbi's typical form with the putter, you would lead on the side of that going in, but it hasn't been her day on the greens today. Looks like Patty will be next to play. Meanwhile, this is Céline Boutier's caddy, Colin Can, watching our coverage from the pro shop. Keeping an eye on what's happening. Celine's inside the locker room, we hear.
Colin Can, a very experienced caddy, and I'm sure he has been important to her to get to this point today.
Definitely not his first rodeo, is it, Judy?
No, it is not.
Using a lofty club here, going to lob this one up onto the top portion of the green and let it trickle down towards the hole.
Good shot.
What are the odds of a two-putt from here, Karen?
Normally for Jin Young Ko, I would say very good. I mean, better than a 85% chance. But when everything's on the line, you never really truly know. And with the way these greens are, I mean, they can be. I mean, I want to say the greens are a little bit petulant at times. Like, they don't want to give you anything. They can be a little bit angry towards players, and I just feel like there's never anything that's really truly given this late in the day on this golf course. Even if you are the world's #2 or the best putter in the world, it's just, you really want to get this in as close as you can and just not cause yourself any kinds of stress at all. And from this range, that is not easy. She's going to go uphill, back downhill towards the hole with braking left all the way.
That comes up well short.
I think we've seen a sign of nerves with several players here coming to the end of the day.
So now both Imbi and Jin Young will have birdie looks to tie the lead. So Celine Boutier will know she can't be beaten. She can be matched. And if she were to be matched, this would become the 5th event this season to go into a playoff.
Now, this is interesting. Imbi Park really hasn't been calling in Brad Beecher to read very many of her putts today. But he is about as good as anybody at reading the green, so probably a good time to just get a little second opinion here.
You gotta love the fact, though, that no matter the situation, she takes the same amount of time.
Exactly. Well, Judy, I think the putter failed her a little bit today.
And you're not going to get the opportunity to say that very often.
Well, you can see the disappointment on her face. 3rd round 69 for Imbi Park, who made her first start this week since the AIG Women's Open. Said she did expect some rust coming in. We didn't see much of it when she opened with a 66 and followed that up with a 65, but struggled today, and she'll finish up 1 short.
This putt for Jin Young Ko. Again, this is just no bargain. This should move left. And I don't know, I've seen many putts over my time here on this 18th green, and it's just not an easy one to read or to make, especially when you have to.
This to force a playoff. And it slides by. Celine Boutier will win for the first time in the United States. No eyes on Celine Boutier yet, still inside the locker room. Probably watching that unfold on the television screen. So another coming up just 1 short with a final round 69. Incredibly, Jin Young Ko and Imbi Park have matched each other step for step this week, both with rounds of 66, 65 and 69 to finish 1 short to France's Celine Boutier, who will capture her 2nd victory on the LPGA Tour and first since 2019 when she triumphed down under. Imbi left to process alongside Jin Young Ko what could have been, Judy.
It's kind of a surprising turn of events, but scores were very low today. The golf course seemed to be there for the taking, and at the last minute when somebody needed to take, they didn't.
Well, Patty Tavatanakit also with a final round 69. She gets to 11 under par. Ultimately, the day is for France. We'll be back with our champion, Celine Boutier. Celine Boutier.